Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to start this journey with you. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and fascinating world of the sleeping brain. It's a topic that affects every single one of us, yet much of it remains a mystery to the average person. A common myth is that sleep is just a passive state where the brain shuts off to rest. In reality, sleep is an incredibly active biological process. Think of it less like a computer shutting down and more like a skyscraper where the daytime staff leaves and a highly specialized night crew moves in to perform essential maintenance and filing. Neural activity during certain stages of sleep can actually be just as intense as when you're wide awake. We're going to explore exactly what those neurons are up to while you're dreaming. To give you a sense of our journey today, take a look at our course roadmap. We'll start by breaking down the architecture of sleep cycles and how your brain gates sensory information. Later, we'll discuss memory consolidation, the process of turning your experiences into long-term knowledge, and how sleep builds emotional resilience so you can handle the stresses of tomorrow. It's going to be an eye-opening session, so let's get started. Building on that introduction, let's dive into the blueprint of your rest, what we call the architecture of sleep. It isn't just a period of switching off, it's a highly structured sequence of events. First, we need to distinguish between the two primary states, non-REM and REM sleep. Think of them as two different maintenance modes for your body and mind. Non-REM sleep is primarily about physical restoration, moving from light drifting to deep repair. REM, or rapid eye movement sleep, is where the brain becomes remarkably active. It's the primary stage for dreaming and emotional processing. Look at this chart. It shows the duration of these stages within a single cycle. You'll notice that we don't spend an equal amount of time in each. Our brain carefully balances these stages to ensure we wake up refreshed. During light sleep, your heart rate slows and your temperature drops to save energy. As you move into deep sleep, your body starts its heavy lifting, repairing tissues, and strengthening the immune system. This entire progression takes about 90 minutes. We then repeat this cycle 4 to 6 times every night. As the night goes on, the proportion of these stages shifts, which is why that last hour of sleep often feels so different from the first. Building on those stages we just covered, let's look at the engine behind this process. Meet the thalamus, a small but mighty structure often referred to as your brain's sensory gatekeeper. During the day, it works like a central dispatch station, processing and routing almost every sight, sound, and touch you experience to the rest of the brain. Without it, the world would just be a chaotic blur of data. When you fall into deep sleep, the thalamus effectively closes its gates. Research from the NINDS shows it quiets down, creating a barrier that prevents external noise from disturbing your rest. However, there is a fascinating exception: REM sleep. During this stage, thalamic activity actually spikes. It begins sending signals to the cortex as if they were real sensations, which is why your dreams feel so incredibly vivid and real. Even in deep sleep, it maintains selective alertness. It's tuned to ignore the hum of an air conditioner, yet it can instantly wake you up if it detects a significant sound like a baby crying or your morning alarm. This balance is what keeps us both rested and safe. Welcome! Let's explore how our brain cycles through different stages of sleep over the course of a night. Use this slider to set the total duration of the sleep period you want to simulate. In a standard 8-hour night, notice how deep sleep dominates the first few hours, while REM sleep becomes more frequent toward morning. The sleep intensity slider simulates factors that might deepen or lighten your sleep architecture. Observe a short power nap. It usually ends before the brain enters the deepest stages of sleep, which helps avoid feeling groggy upon waking. During deep recovery, the brain prioritizes longer periods of slow-wave sleep to facilitate physical and cognitive repair. Try adjusting the time warp to see the full 8-hour progression in just a few seconds. Now that we've seen how the brain moves through different sleep stages, let's explore one of the most fascinating functions of this cycle: memory consolidation. Think of your brain during the day as a busy office, and sleep as the night shift when the filing and organization happen. We call this offline processing. While you're asleep, your brain isn't just resting, it's actively reviewing your daily experiences. It sifts through everything you learned today, like that new coding language or a complex math formula, and decides what's worth keeping. During this time, your brain actually strengthens the neural connections related to those new skills. It's like tracing over a faint pencil line with a dark marker, making that memory much more durable and easier to access when you wake up. As you can see in this illustration, this is how the brain converts fragile, short-term memories into stable, long-term storage. This is why pulling an all-nighter to study often backfires. You're skipping the very phase where the saving process occurs. Yale News research actually highlights that sleep acts as an active processor. This offline work is essential for problem solving. Have you ever found that a problem that seemed impossible last night suddenly has a clear solution the next morning? That's your brain working for you while you snooze. Building on this, we'll next look at how sleep helps regulate our emotions. Building on our discussion about memory, let's explore how deep sleep serves as a vital foundation for our emotional health. It's not just about feeling rested, it's about how we process our feelings. First, let's talk about the prefrontal cortex, or the PFC. Think of this part of your brain as a CEO or a wise counselor. During deep sleep, this area is essentially refreshed, allowing it to maintain its role in regulating our complex emotions. When the PFC is well rested, we experience lowered reactivity. This means your physiological arousal stays in check. You're less likely to overreact to a stressful email or a minor inconvenience because your brain has the resources to stay calm. On the flip side, notice these deprivation risks. Without enough sleep, anxiety levels can skyrocket and our moods become unstable. We've all felt that short fuse after a bad night. That's actually a physical result of your brain failing to regulate itself. Ultimately, deep sleep restores what we call the emotional brake. It gives us back our mental control, helping us manage stress rather than being managed by it. It truly is one of our best tools for resilience. Next, we'll look at how this recovery extends to our physical bodies. Moving from our minds to our bodies, it's important to realize that sleep isn't just a passive state of rest. It's a period of intense physical maintenance and biological housekeeping that keeps us functional. First, let's talk about the glymphatic system. Think of this as the brain's unique plumbing system that only truly opens up while you are asleep. During the day, metabolic toxins like beta amyloid, which is linked to Alzheimer's buildup in the brain. When you sleep, the space between brain cells increases, allowing the glymphatic system to flush these wastes away, essentially power washing your brain for the next day. Next, we have muscle and growth recovery. You might have noticed that athletes prioritize sleep, and here's why. Deep sleep is when the body releases the majority of its growth hormones. This is essential for repairing tissues, building muscle, and recovering from the physical stresses of the day. Your immune system also relies heavily on this time. While you're resting, your body is actually boosting its defenses. During deep sleep, the production of cytokines proteins that help the immune system respond to threats is enhanced. Without enough sleep, you're literally more likely to get sick when exposed to a virus. Finally, all of this physical recovery translates directly back into mental alertness. When the body is repaired and the brain is clean, you can think faster and stay focused longer. So, as we've seen, sleep is the foundation of our entire physical and cognitive well-being. Now that we've covered the core functions, let's see how much you've retained as we head into our final knowledge check. Excellent work on those knowledge checks. Now that we've navigated the intricate architecture of the sleeping brain, let's pull everything together for our final summary, sleeping for successes. As we discussed throughout the session, sleep isn't just downtime. We've seen how the thalamus acts as a sensory gatekeeper, how our memories are consolidated offline, and how our prefrontal cortex depends on sleep for emotional stability. This table provides a great reference for the functions we've mapped out today. Whether it's the physical restoration and waste clearance during deep sleep or the cognitive sharpening during REM, every stage is vital for your brain to function at its peak. I want to leave you with this final thought. Sleep is not a luxury or a sign of laziness. It is a fundamental biological necessity. By respecting your sleep, you are directly investing in your brain's health and your future success. Thank you all for being so engaged today. I hope you take these insights home with you, and more importantly, I hope you get a great night's rest tonight. Before we finish, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how this changes your perspective on rest.